What's up, everyone? I heard you're going to RQ Hartford, Vancouver, or any of the future Riftbound TCG events, and you've never been to a TCG event before, so you got to know what to pack. I'm here to help you with that and just tell you a few things that I personally pack to events to maybe make packing a little bit easier for you guys. So we're going to get into the first thing. First thing is a TCG backpack. Now, there's multiple brands that sell a lot of really good ones. This is one from Ultimate Guard that I quite like, and I used to use a lot, but I actually got a Swiss Army backpack that I bring to pretty much every event, whether it's next night. I bring it pretty much everywhere with me. It has just enough space to store everything, and it fits everything. I'm going to go over pretty nicely. I do really like this Ultimate Guard backpack. For me, the straps are a little uncomfortable, but I know I've heard a lot of good things about it, and it is a little expensive, but this Ultimate Guard one I think was like $40 on Amazon, and it does the job perfectly and fits everything I need. Alright, next thing is a deck box, and as you can see, there's a little theme here, Ultimate Guard. I like all their products a lot, but you don't need a fancy deck box. Even something like this, where it's just a simple open, close your stuff in there, will do. Heck, even the Riftbound Vault boxes are good enough for a deck box for your first few events. I personally like a deck box like this. It has space for 2 decks, so I have one deck here, and another deck here, and a dice tray, which is another important thing, and I might as well cover that while I'm at it. Dice and counters. So this is actually a 3D printed Riftbound counter. I got at one of my Nexus nights that one of the locals gave me, so shout out to you. But bring dice. Scorekeeping should always be done by pen and paper, which I will get into here in a second. But dice are good for roll-offs, good for counters. If you don't have a pair of dice, I recommend getting one because you will use these in every single tabletop thing you do. Next up is extra sleeves. Now, I don't know if you're anything like me, but if you are, you have so many sleeves and just have a bunch. Always bring an extra pair. Whenever I go and buy sleeves for my actual tournament decks, I normally buy 2 things of sleeves because you'll be shuffling or doing something and your sleeves will just randomly break. You'll be like, wow, I really wish I got a second set of sleeves. Also, for RQs and stuff, if the sleeves have scratches or marks in them, they could be labeled as labeled cards, meaning when you draw, you can tell, and you don't want to get a round loss for having, bad sleeves. So make sure you're watching out for that at your first event, and make sure you, get an extra pair of sleeves while you're getting your first one. Now, my next thing is trade binders. Now, I have this trade binder from Ultimate Guard that has all my trades in it. I actually have 2, but it has all my cards in it and all the stuff. I really recommend getting a trade binder. If not, have a trade box. Put it in one of those deck boxes, put it in your vault box, just so that if anyone wants to be like, hey, you got anything for trade, or you see a card you want to trade someone, you can work out something. Obviously, this is kind of obvious, but make sure if you're going to look for binders, get a binder you like. I would recommend not cheaping out on binders. Whenever I bought mine because I knew I liked them, and they've lasted me a good 2 years at least, and they're still in perfect condition. You can get like the Ultra Pro ones, and they'll work and everything. I just personally like to get nice binders that'll last me and then I can use for whatever. My next thing is a piece of paper and a pen. So those of you that are new to Riftbound might not know, but Riftbound is a card game that you can write down things. So if you look at the opponent's hand, you can write down the cards you see. For points, you can write down the points, and you should write down the points as if you're using a dice tracker or something that can be moved really easily, it can be moved and the numbers are switched, and most of the time, if not all of the time, the judges will always go down with what's written down on a piece of paper rather than a dice or moving on your playmat, something like that, just because that can easily be messed with, or you can get a point or subtract a point. So they're always going to go with your opponent if they're writing something. The reason why I recommend a paper and pen is because personally it helps me be able to write down if I see a hand off of a Scuttle Crab or a Sabotage or something. And I mean, it just helps you. Maybe you can know what's sideboard. You can write down what you sideboarded in, and then that'll help you in the future. You can also look back at your notes. I have another one of these that I have scribbled in a bunch, and I can see my notes from different matchups. I've been like, well, I don't like this. Helps with deck building. Helps with just keeping all your points tracked specifically, and also just helps to write stuff down sometimes and figure out a different line of play. So vastly recommend taking a pen and a paper to your next locals. All right, moving down the list, I have playmats. Now don't get me wrong, playmats are not needed, and most of the time the store that you were going to will have a playmat at the table already, or sitting on the table that you can just go and play on. But I personally like to bring my own playmat. I just don't really like playing on a surface that everyone else has played on, and I know you're technically getting it dirty because you're bringing it everywhere, but it helps protect your cards. It helps just expressing yourself. Like I like the Timo artwork, so I'm bringing the Timo playmat, and I've been playing with that one a lot. I think the playmats are sick, and I personally bring one with me pretty much every event. Something I would like to touch on that I think a lot of people normally forget to bring to locals is tokens. These are the easiest thing to forget. I forget them. I'm not even gonna lie. Like half the locals I get to, I'm like, oh, I didn't bring any tokens. Can I borrow your tokens? But just having your own and having some. I have a little bit of everything. I have a reflection just in case, a recruit. I have some gold. I have some buff, just in case, because anything can really happen in a game of Riftbound. And you having your tokens makes it to where you can always have them and not have to borrow someone else's. Another important thing to bring, at least that I like to bring, is a charger for your phone. I always bring an extra charger with me just in case my phone dies. I mainly bring it to locals and skirmishes, just because you don't really know how long you're going to be there. Locals, most of the time, it's you're going to play like 3 or 4 rounds and then go home. But for like skirmish or something, those could go for a whole day. So bringing a charger that you can plug in your phone just in case it dies or something is really important, because you don't want to be just stranded in the middle of nowhere because you went to a skirmish and not be able to charge your phone. So make sure to pack a charger with you. Another thing is a little snack. So whether it's a granola bar or a bag of chips or something, most stores will sell something. But if you have it, you might as well bring it with you instead of having to buy it at a store. I'm all about supporting local game stores, but also I'm not going to pay $5 for a granola bar. So obviously, prices range, but you get my point. Also, bring a water. I think it's the most important thing is bring a water. I have a big thermos of water that I bring with me to every event, put it in my backpack, put it in my sleeve. I bring it everywhere with me because stay hydrated while you're playing. It can really mess with you if you're really thirsty while you're playing. And once again, most stores do sell stuff, but just bring some water. You never know what's going to happen or what you would need it for. You could put a fire out with it, something like that. All right. So now we're going to go into the portion where I talk about what you're going to expect at some of these events. So I'm going to start at Nexus Night, then go to Skirmish, and then go to these higher level events. So first off, Nexus Nights, what can you expect? Typically, you'll expect 1 to 3 rounds. Normally, it's going to be 3. It could go to 4, it could go to 5. Best of 3 games, so you'll sit down, have a certain amount of time to play, and you'll play 3 games versus your opponent. It's all matched up in the Riftbound app, which is really nice, and it's all linked in your Riot, so you can just go on there, do it. Normally expect to pay $10 to $15. Obviously, the price varies by where you go and what it's actually for, but expect to pay $10 to $15 and play 3 to 4 rounds with local people in your area. Alright, next we're going to go into Summoner Skirmishes. So Summoner Skirmishes are a higher level play event at your local store. So it's not your usual Nexus Night. The main difference is it cuts into Top Cut. Now what is Top Cut? For those of you that are new to TCGs, Top Cut is usually a top 8, top 4, where it will cut into a little bracket and you'll have to play. Where you end at in Swiss, so say I go 3-0 in Swiss, and we play three rounds of Swiss and I end up 3-0, and I'm first seed, I will now verse the 8th seed, or I will verse the 4th seed. And since I'm higher seed, I will get to choose who goes first. Most of the time, you're going to pick yourself. And then if you win that, you will move on and play for the grand prize. The grand prize at Riftbound Skirmishes are a playmat that says champion on the bottom. You can see it right there. And also you play for top 8 promos. So this is a top 8 Blitzcrank promo, and they have promos given out to just players that show up in the skirmish. This one, or in this month when I'm posting this video, the champion playmat is a Rengar, and you also get a little card that says champion on it. It's Rengar as well, and then you get top 8 promos and then the rest of the promos for everyone else. At these events, expect to pay 25 to, I've seen some go for like 30, 35. Expect to pay a little bit more. They are a higher level event, and most of the time the pack pricing will be a little bit higher on these ones. Alright, next we're going to move into the Riftbound regional qualifiers. Now these regional qualifiers take place over the course of 2 days, so there'll be a Friday, a Saturday, and most of the time there'll be a Sunday. Friday is going to be a pre-regional tournament. It'll go on, you'll play ever so many rounds and get prize tickets for the prize wall. Saturday, and obviously these dates can change depending on the regional. Saturday will be a day 1 of the tournament. So if you have won a summoner skirmish at a local level, you will automatically start with a win. You will have a round 1 bye in the regional tournament, and you will move on from there. Going on to there, you will play games throughout the entire day. If you end up playing really well, you will move on to day 2 of these regional qualifiers, meaning you will be cut off from everyone that didn't make it to day 2, and you will be competing for the number 1 spot and prizing. The top 64 will get an invite to the regionals for Riftbound Worlds, which we're not exactly sure when that's going to happen at the time of recording this video. Information can be updated, and I would still urge you to look and Google it if you are curious about it. But you will move on from there to top cut, so top 16, then top 8, then top 4. And then eventually the winner will be crowned. The pricing will differentiate from tournament to tournament. Normally, the higher up you get, the more pricing you will get. And also a big thing that Riftbound does at these regional qualifiers is give away a metal foil card. So say I play Ari, and I am the best of Ari player. I will get a foil metal card, and those are worth a lot of money, but they're also just really cool to have. It means you are the best Ari that weekend that showed up to play. So these are very coveted after cards. There's a lot of people that go to regional qualifiers just to play these off-meta decks and do really good with them so that they can get a foil card. If you don't make it to day 2, don't worry, because there is so many and such cool stuff to still do at the venue. There's a creator area where you can go and play against some of your favorite creators or play with some of your favorite creators. There's all sorts of events. There's pre-rift events. There's just normal constructed events. If you have a deck and you just want to play, there's sealed events. There's so many things to do. So just because you didn't make day 1 does not mean didn't make day 2 does not mean it's over. That just means that you have a chance to win a metal card on the prize wall. Now, how the prize walls work is you're going to earn tickets by playing, and you can cash them in for really, really cool rewards, like a metal card or other things. Riot does really good with these events. If you've been to an event for League of Legends or Valorant, they do really, really good things, and so does UVS as far as I know. UVS has done a really good job with handling some of these TCG events. If you plan on going to a regional qualifier, I hope this video helped you out, and if there's anything I missed, let me know down in my comments. I'm kind of just making this video just as a personal thing to new players, because I know whenever I was getting into TCGs, it was all really confusing, and I didn't know what I should get. I didn't know what I should bring to locals. I didn't know exactly how the higher up tournaments worked, and I hope that this helped someone. If it did, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate you showing me some love. And also, I am going to Hartford regional qualifiers, so if you see me there, I have a little surprise for the people that show up and say hi to me. It's first come, first serve on the little surprise. But if you are subscribed to me and you come up to me at the event, I would love to give each person something. So if you see me at the event, show up to me, say what's up, and yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I hope this video helped you out. Thanks.